Peace, family. Welcome to A Deck a Day. Another start of another week. Still at it with A Deck a Day. It is Moon Day. It is Monday. Monday is named after the moon. We are just coming off of our Hunter full moon in Aries. Very, very potent energies. Still feeling it. And I usually work with this deck, the Moonology deck, on full moons and new moons, but I was in goddess alignment, so I did stick with that vibration for Wednesday's full moon. But starting today on this Monday, Moon Day, I'm going to bring the cards around and we are going to work with Moonology and with my 7 souls of Ra. Heart chakra pendants and hearts and alignments. I have diamonds and pyramids in this 7 souls of Ra energy, and this one is specifically for gridding the body and attuning and activating and cleansing all of your energy centers, chakras, 7 souls of Ra, whatever you may call them and how you align with them. So see which one resonates with you. We've got the root chakra with red jasper. We've got the sacral chakra with carnelian. And then we've got solar plexus with citrine. If you chose root chakra, red jasper, your message from the moon today is communication is key. New moon in Gemini. I've definitely been thinking about this and explaining this in terms of my perspective of how important communication is in a lot of different dynamics, specifically of late, because I think for any of us, especially those who may have chosen this card, communication being key is literally in the notion of thinking that a key opens and unlocks doors and doesn't keep things shut to us, that we can get to the other side, that we can evolve, that we can grow, that we can get from one place to the next, that there isn't a barrier, a blockage, that we are giving and given that key. So when we think about communication being that portal into the next side of things, the next realm, opening the way for ourselves, for a relationship, for a dynamic to grow and to be in a different place, that's the fundamental. Without communication, things do stay stagnant, things stay confused, things stay complicated, dramatic, a whole bunch of low vibrational stuff, and a lot of expectations, because expectations are often led to disappointment because we assume that someone knows what it is that we want or think or feel. That's where expectation comes up. The definition of expectation is really thinking something that we believe should happen. But if we just believe that it should happen based on nothing else other than we just think that it should, when especially we're not communicating those particular needs or wants or desires to the person that we are expecting this thing from, then we're setting ourselves up as well as the other person. So, new moon in Gemini, we think about new moon energy of new beginnings, and then Gemini, is the twin, right? We think about that notion of one entity or one personality versus another. We think about the notion of two, communication being the importance of it being more than one person, having that conversation, that reiteration, that clarification, confirmations, etc. But it's also about communication with ourselves. And I always try my best to bring around whatever information that I'm giving in regards to how we can relate to dynamics and relationships, because the fundamental and most important relationship we will always have is the relationship with ourselves. And it is also going to absolutely dictate the relationship that we have with anyone else, whether it's a lover, whether it's a child, whether it's a parent, a coworker, whatever it may be. So always take the advice that you get in regards to how it can apply to another and start with yourself. Internalize that. Think of it even as your higher self and literally having a specific relationship and communication with your higher self. Think about communication with your shadow self. Think about communication with your ego self. And look in the mirror and have that conversation. See the 2 people or more that is within you and have those conversations, especially the hard ones, and get through it, because again, that is going to literally be the key to getting you from one place to the next, to getting you to manifest the miracles that it is that you want for yourself. So think about that, talk about that. I often talk out loud. I literally I communicate with myself and with all of the different entities and personalities within me so that I can come to an integrated self and sense of self. And that is what is going to lead you to absolutely all of the riches, intangibly and tangibly, that this very abundant universe has in store for you. If you chose carnelian for sacral chakra, your message is: it's a time to release negativity. Full moon in Scorpio. Full moon energy, Scorpio energy, is about mystery and secrets and sexuality and sensuality, and releasing negativity is very important because we're calling in a lot of things that we want, and it's so easy for us to think about what we want. Sometimes it's easier to think about what we don't want, and that's why it's important to start with releasing. Even if we don't know what we want, we know what we don't want, whether it's things that we've experienced in the past or things that we're experiencing now. At the very least, there is a monumental list that we can write right now. Even if you just set a 5-minute timer right as soon as you finish listening to this video, and you set a 5-minute timer and you just write down what you don't want in your life anymore, what you want to release, what you don't want to be a part of your environment and your entity and your emotions and your existence or the world's. You can write a bunch of stuff. I was going to swear, so I'm trying not to swear. But you can write a whole heap of stuff, even in just 5 minutes. So if we start with that, those are all things that can now be manifested to being like taken from us, especially if we use it with water manifesting. If we, use that with just before we go to sleep at night, we just focus on the things that we don't want. You have to always release before you call in, because you can call in all you want, but if there's no space to put it, the creator's just holding this bag for you, being like, I got it, it's yours, but there's no space for me to put it down. Like, I have nowhere to put it. There's no way for me to put it. So it's about decluttering our lives. It's about really releasing. And again, this is intangible and tangible. A great way to do it is to think about tangibly going through your house, going through your apartment, going through your drawers and getting rid of stuff that you don't need anymore. And it's not about replacing it because that space is there. Let things come through naturally. When you do it tangibly, you start to feel the lift in your environment. You feel the lift in your space, on a physical and a non-physical sense. And as a result from that, you end up channeling that same type of energy into your spiritual self, into thinking about your dynamics and your relationships, and you move forward accordingly. And you know what? I don't really need this. I don't need this energy. I don't need this vibe. I don't need this relationship. I don't need this thing. And you start to release. And it's upon that very organic releasing that you realize now there's this like airiness to your spirit. And that is an alignment, and that is a vibration that is going to reap that like alignment and that like vibration. And now there's space for it or them to come through. That negative energy, those low vibrational emotions, all of that stuff, the fear mongering that we're being inundated with, all of the stuff that like can so easily take hold of us. That is what we need to remove, to release, to rebuke. Like make it something, again, align it to something tangible so that you can try to match and mirror that on a spiritual level, because you can only benefit from clearing out what does not serve you any longer so that you're making room for what it is that, again, you may not even know that you want that is about to come through. But at the very least, you're starting by removing the thing that you know that you don't want. That is the first step. That is the absolute first step, because it's actually... It doesn't make a difference whether we know what we want, even if we don't have space to actually put it. If we're literally giving the universe an opposing order in regards to what we're actually living and manifesting and prioritizing and focusing on the day-to-day. So just let it go. Whatever it is, you know what it is. Again, write that list and then burn it. Like release it. Be like, this is not even a thing anymore. None of this is even a thing anymore. And watch what comes through for you. If you chose citrine, solar plexus, your message is have faith in your dreams. I think the last time I used this deck, we got this card, if I'm not mistaken, or the time before that. I've used this deck a few times so far. Waxing crescent moon. So we're thinking about faith. You know, all this talk right now about releasing negativity and manifesting and, you know, releasing the fear mongering and all of the stuff. This is a faith over fear situation that we're dealing with in life right now. Faith over fear. People are sometimes choosing fear over faith. Don't get me wrong. I just speak it the way it is for me, and it's faith over fear all day. So when we think about our dreams, this could be dreams on a literal sense. As we sleep or as we nap, we get these messages, we get these dreams. And it could be our hopes, our passions, our purpose, the things that, you know, we have always wanted to do, our bucket list kind of dreams. Either or, whichever way, and both that we think about it. Having faith in them is literally breathing life into them, is literally turning them into something realistic versus just thinking about dreams as being something that isn't real or that's intangible or it's, you know, this happy-go-lucky, oh, wouldn't it be cool if type of thing. It becomes, this is going to happen because I believe it. Faith is about belief, and it's about believing something that you can't see yet, believing something that you can't be yet. So when you can see it, when you can envision it, when you can have faith in that sense of be like, listen, I know that this is what is for me. I know that this is coming. I know that timing is divine and that I am ready, but I'm still clearing and I'm still healing and I'm still releasing and I'm still planting. And that thing can only come to fruition when it's time to harvest. Having faith is knowing in that divine timing, in having that patience, in believing that timing is, it's literally going to happen only when it's going to happen, nothing before its time. That is the ultimate epitome of faith. And having that kind of faith in your dreams, when you have an actual dream and you wake up and you say to yourself, I remember this dream and this is what it means to me, and I got this message and I got this sign, I'm going to believe in that. And in believing in that, it becomes more than a dream. It becomes more than a message. It becomes manifested. So continue to have faith in those things. Have faith in those messages, in those dreams, in those visions, in those thoughts, in those ideas, in those insights, in those downloads, in those channels, because it is all real and it is all for you. And if you're getting them, that also shows just how aligned you are, how connected you are to your ancestors and your guides, and that is a blessing in itself. And it really, at that point, is more than just about following your dreams or having faith in your dreams. It's about listening to instructions from the divine, from your transitioned tribe, from the creator self, from yourself, from your soul, from your higher self. And it is the ultimate insult to question that and to doubt that or to not heed those messages. So having faith in your dreams, tangibly, intangibly, cannot steer you wrong. It absolutely cannot steer you wrong. So I hope that resonates with you all. Until tomorrow, lest we forget, time to get back to natural. Peace.